second extract, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the whole part at a stretch. So that would also give you, it would be much more easier for you to follow the whole conversation. So I'm getting questions on screen first, all 6 of them. Then I would want you to do the pre-listening task for them. And then we would start the audio. Wait for a moment. I would just need to make sure that you can see all the answers on screen. So I'm just making some adjustments. Okay, so now I have got both the pages on screen. You can see all 6 questions here. Up to 30, 37 to 40 are on this page, and then you have 41 and 42 here. So now you can start reading through the questions, and paying attention to the keywords in each of the question as well as answer choices. Make sure you read the context sentence. Do not just mechanically read it. Also try and think what would be the possible content for the overall conversation as well as for a specific question out there. Yeah. I would be giving all of you 5 minutes time to do this. Probably you are not having the prints with you. So if you want, you can make some notes on a piece of paper if you feel so. I would be having the screen here, but still, if you feel that way, you can have it. If context sentence, if all of you have been able to now get, then I'm just trying to give you a bigger view, but it's just that I wouldn't be able to have the context sentence here. So now you know that it is about diagnosis of cancer, and they are going to talk about a new tool called Cancer Seek. And here you have a better view of all four questions. Particularly pay attention to comparative language in the answer choices. Pay attention to negative words. Pay attention to extreme words. Okay, so now I'm going to play this audio. This one is an interview, so you wouldn't have to struggle much with change of the question, because you will have two speaker speaking, and the interviewee, the one who is asking the question, the interviewer, I'm sorry, would give you when the interviewer asks a question, that is the hint for you to move on to the next question.
My guest today is Dr. Christian Thomas, co-author of a study into a new blood test known as CancerSeek. Dr. Thomas, can you tell us what led to the study?
Diagnosis for many cancers is a long and challenging process. Cancer remains one of the leading causes of death all around the world, and it's estimated that by 2030, the number of cancer deaths will almost double. So early diagnosis is crucial to reducing cancer-related deaths. That is, the earlier the disease is diagnosed, the higher the chances of treatment success. But sadly, many aren't caught until the later stages, and this is largely due to a lack of fast and effective diagnostic tools, and that's where research is vital. So that prompted our team to test the latest research on a relatively small group of people, and the findings have been quite encouraging. It could potentially bring us closer to a quick, simple way to detect cancer in its early stages.
Can you give us more details and perhaps explain the importance of the test?
Sure. The test is called CancerSeek, and it's a unique, non-invasive test that simultaneously evaluates levels of 8 cancer proteins and the presence of cancer gene mutations from circulating DNA in the blood. It's aimed at screening for 8 common cancer types that account for more than 60% of cancer deaths. In fact, 5 of the cancers covered by the test currently have no screening test at all, so that alone gives an indication of its significance to the medical world. The use of a combination of selected biomarkers for early detection also has the potential to change the way we screen for cancer, and it's based on the same rationale for using combinations of drugs to treat cancers. Circulating tumor DNA mutations can be highly specific markers for cancer. So, to capitalize on this, we sought to develop a small yet robust panel that could detect at least one mutation in the vast majority of cancers.
What kind of success rates has it shown in detecting cancer?
It's been a very positive study. From 812 healthy controls, it produced only 7 false positive results, so that was very encouraging. The test itself was evaluated on 1,005 patients with non-metastatic stages 1 to 3 cancers of the ovary, liver, stomach, pancreas, esophagus, colorectum, lung, and breast. The median overall sensitivity, or the ability to find cancer, was 70% and ranged from a high of 98% for ovarian cancer to a low of 33% for breast cancer. Still a reasonable result and above what we anticipated. For the 5 cancers that have no screening tests at present, which are ovarian, liver, stomach, pancreatic and esophageal cancers, sensitivity ranged from 69% to 98%.
That's very impressive. Your team must be very pleased. Is there any downside to the test?
Many of the most promising cancer treatments we have today only benefit a small minority of cancer patients, and we consider them major breakthroughs. If we are going to make progress in early cancer detection, we have to begin looking at it in a more realistic way, recognizing that no test will detect all cancers. We may only be in the beginning stages, and although CancerSeek doesn't pick up every cancer, it identifies many more that would likely otherwise go undetected.
What impact are you expecting this to make right away on the general public?
This test represents the next step in changing the focus of cancer research from late-stage disease to early disease, which I believe will be critical to reducing cancer deaths in the long term. As I mentioned, CancerSeek is non-invasive, so can, in principle, be administered by primary care providers at the time of other routine blood work. This has the potential to substantially impact patients' current levels of access. Earlier detection provides many ways to improve outcomes for patients. Down the road, optimally, cancers would be detected early enough that they could be cured by surgery alone. But even cancers that are not curable by surgery alone will respond better to systemic therapies when there is less advanced disease.
And what about affordability for those undertaking the test?
We feel that a test that will be used routinely for cancer screening must have a cost in line with or less than other currently available screening tests for single cancers, such as a colonoscopy. For example, the average out-of-pocket expense for that procedure is anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000. We envision that the CancerSeek test will eventually cost less than $500. Of course, much larger studies of the test are currently underway, and cost can't be a determining factor over quality, but I'm very confident that we will be able to keep it at the estimated level.
Okay, so I hope all of you were able to answer all 6 questions. Is there any specific question that you want me to play again? $41, okay. Definitely. So just the last part of it, right? 41, okay. I would do so.
My guest today...
It's the next step in changing the focus of AGES, and although CancerSeek doesn't pick up every cancer, it identifies many more that would likely otherwise go undetected.
What impact are you expecting this to make right away on the general public?
This test represents the next step in changing the focus of cancer research from late-stage disease to early disease, which I believe will be critical to reducing cancer deaths in the long term. As I mentioned, CancerSeek is non-invasive, so can, in principle, be administered by primary care providers at the time of other routine blood work. This has the potential to substantially impact patients' current levels of access. Earlier detection provides many ways to improve outcomes for patients. Down the road, optimally, cancers would be detected early enough that they could be cured by surgery alone. But even cancers that are not curable by surgery alone will respond better to systemic therapies when there is less advanced disease.
And what about affordability for those undertaking the test?
We feel that a test that will be used routinely for cancer screening must have a cost in line with or less than other currently available screening tests for single cancers, such as a colonoscopy. For example, the average out-of-pocket expense for that procedure is anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000. We envision that the CancerSeek test will eventually cost less than $500. Of course, much larger studies of the test are currently underway, and cost can't be a determining factor over quality, but I'm very confident that we will be able to keep it at the estimated level.
Okay, so this time what I want to do is, I'm going to ask each one of you, to justify one question. Would that be okay? I would ask each one of you to explain what answer choice have you selected and what helped you select that answer choice. And if there is an further explanation needed, I would pitch in. So this would give me a concept check. It would help me understand if you are actually able to follow the strategy that we just discussed, or are you still just randomly selecting the answer choices and you're getting some correct and some wrong. So I don't want that to happen randomly, because I want you to logically understand. Part C is all about logic. So I want you to logically understand and answer those questions, right? So let us start with the first question, which is a straightforward question where it says why Thomas and his team decided to do this study. So can I start with Pankti? Pankti, are you there in the class today? I can't see her name though.
Yes, ma'am.
You're there? Okay. So yeah, can you explain us, Pankti, what answer have you selected for 37 and why?
C, ma'am.
Can you tell us why? Your answer is correct, but can you justify that? Do you remember any sentence or phrase or any portion that he explained and it helped you to rule out other answer choices? Why didn't you go with B or A, for example? It's okay, don't hesitate. Everyone is here to learn, so it's okay to make mistakes.
Actually, I didn't remember.
You don't remember
right now. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So basically, why C is the correct answer here is because they said that we needed a tool that can quickly detect the cancer. That was the option which could have helped us, which can help us to treat the early diagnosis was very important. And till that point of time, there wasn't any test which could detect it early. And that is where the research is vital. So that prompted our team to test the latest research. So they didn't say that there were trials which were going on, but they were very slow. No, basically there were no tests which could help us detect early. And that is the reason why they decided to, go with trials or studies. So C is the correct answer here. Okay, then second one, the new test is particularly important because of. So can I ask Kathan here to explain what answer have you selected and why?
Yeah, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I selected B. So A was ruled out because yeah, it was a non-invasive procedure, but the Dr. Thomas did not give much importance to that. He gave importance to the various type of cancers which we were unable to detect before the
Yeah.
test. So because of CancerSeek, we can detect that now. The
True.
main file.
Yes. Okay, so he was explaining how there are specific cancers which would have otherwise gone undetected. So he was explaining how it is to be done. So it basically, it is a kit through which it can be done. It is a non-invasive test, okay, and it basically detects the presence of mutations in the blood, but it mainly aims for screening for 8 common cancer types. So this is one advantage. And another advantage is that the 5 of the tests that it covers cannot be detected by any of the other methods. That is why he thinks it is particularly important. Yeah, so the correct answer that we have here is this. Okay, then for this question, he says the success rate of the test in detecting cancer. What is his opinion? See, again, here you could have noticed that all the questions are about opinion and attitude of the speaker. So can I ask Faiz you to explain what answer have you selected in 39 and why?
I have opted for C.
Okay. Can you remember any of the sentences or phrases that helped you to rule out A or B?
Yes, I was confused about B and C because regarding the option D, there were sentences like it carries a range of diagnosis like 33% to 68%, and different statistics were given there.
Yeah, so statistics were given. But if you see, if we had done pre-listening here, this was very easy question because this is disappointing and this is also negative, two variable. So what answer you have selected is correct, it is appropriate. Okay. How we can get this appropriately is while pre-listening, if we differentiate in the answer choices, both answer choice A and B are negative, whereas C is very much positive, outperformed the team's.
Yes, and ma'am, expression of that, the one which was asking the question to Dr. Thomas, so I went for C.
Yeah, true. And Dr. Thomas' tone throughout this conversation, right? He sounded so excited about it.
Yes.
Tone of the speaker can help you, the words that they choose can help you. And in pre-listening, if you are able to differentiate the the answer choices, so two variable, as we just discussed before, that whenever you have this TOO2 expression goes into extreme negative direction, instead of straight away saying no, they would say that two or two, like it didn't give very clear picture, that is what it means, B. And disappointing in case of some forms of the diseases. So both were going in negative direction, whereas what the speaker was saying was mainly positive about the test. So I just get the transcript here. He first went on to give some statistics. This is very, very common for listening part C. So he explained how 812 healthy controls were there and only 7 results were false positive. So it is very encouraging. So you have 1 positive here. Then he said it can detect all these types of cancers. Okay, and the overall sensitivity was 70%, that is quite a high sensitivity, and sometimes it was 98%. But whatever it is reasonable and above what we anticipated. That is why the word outperformed. Outperformed means it performed better than what they had expected from it. And particularly because 5 cancers which cannot be tested by other tests, in that also this particular test showed a sensitivity of 70 to 98%. So all the statistics that he gave out were very, very positive. His tone was he was quite exciting while describing.
See that, ma'am, the response in that below line, that's very impressive. Your team must be very pleased.
Yeah, your team must
I
be.
decided from that point.
Yeah, that is also very helpful. It's very impressive. So it gives out a positive tone there. Yeah, that also can help you decide. Okay, then for the next question, which is, yeah, again here, the question was about downside, what he says about the downside of the test. He was asked about downsides and what has he explained is something really opposite to that. So Krishna, can you explain what answer have you selected here and why?
Ma'am, I selected C.
Can you tell us why?
I couldn't explain.
Just try it so that I understand whether you logically selected it or whether you just randomly chose.
Honestly, in question they ask about downside, but in a paragraph they only said about the positive way, and the answer also given in the positive way. According to that, he emphasized only on greater impact of their work. So I choose C.
So here we had all the answer choices positive, more reliable, then eventually it would prove effective across full range of cancers, or would it have a greater impact than other developments? So basically here there is a lot of comparative language for option A and option C. You can see comparative language, and this was whether it would be helpful for detecting all types of cancers. So he has clearly ruled it out that no test can detect all cancers. So that helps us to rule out B. I would just show you with the transcript. So he said that he straight away went on to comparing. He said that most promising cancer treatments we have, they are only beneficial to a small minority, but still they are considered to be a major development. So if we are going to take this CancerSeek, if we look at it in a more realistic way, there will be no test which can detect all cancers. There cannot be any test which can detect all cancers. So that helps me to rule out B. Okay, and he said that we are only in the beginning stage, and also it doesn't pick up every cancer. It identifies many more that would likely otherwise go undetected. So he was explaining that, yeah, there are some limitation of this test, but then if you compare it with the rest of the options that you have, all those options also have some limitations. So therefore, yeah, what answer that you have selected is correct, have a greater impact than other significant developments in the field, because the entire portion was having comparison here. Has anyone selected A or B, or would anyone like to argue against C?
Ma'am, I have opted for B.
Okay. So you had two sentences which helped you rule out B, because he said that no test can detect all cancer, and similarly CancerSeek would not also be able to detect all cancer. So he said that although CancerSeek doesn't pick up every cancer, it identifies many more that would otherwise not be detected. So that is something which would help us eventually prove effective across full range of cancers. No, it may not be, because not all, other breakthroughs that we have that are also limited to a particular population, but still we consider them as a major development. And he is emphasizing right from the beginning that the main benefit of this kit is that it is able to identify the most common ones. So he sticks to that point, that definitely he accepts that it cannot detect all cancers, but it is able to detect the most common ones. It is also able to detect the one which are not detected by other tests, and it is able to diagnose those cancers early enough. So full range of cancers is not the correct word that he was trying to suggest. So that helps me to rule out B here. So always underline the words which, are going in extreme positive or extreme negative. So this is extreme positive, full range of cancers. Then here comparative language, more reliable than it initially appears, and greater impact than other developments in the field. Yeah. Do you all agree now? Shall I move on to next question? Okay, the main benefit of cancer treatment. What is going to be the main benefit? So I can see Praful here. Can you explain, Praful, what answer have you selected for 41?
Ma'am, A.
A, okay. Can you tell us why?
I can't, ma'am.
You don't remember? Okay. Would anyone else like to describe? Would anyone like to pitch in? What answer have you selected? Maybe Kathan, you can try. What answer have you selected and why?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have selected B. Because Dr. Thomas said that the CancerSeek was non-invasive test, so it can be done by primary healthcare worker, and so can provide larger access than the previous.
Yes, it can improve the accessibility of the test. Yeah, so correct. B is the correct answer here. They did talk something about surgery. There was nothing about patient-centered approach though. So I'll show you the transcript here for this. And her question was also specific. She was asking how it would be beneficial for general public. So they explained that, it is detected early, and it is critical to reduce cancer deaths in long term. It is non-invasive, so it can be administered by primary care workers. And that is the reason it can impact the current level of access. And then he went on to say how, because of early detection, the outcomes will increase and some of the patients can be cured by surgery alone. So A goes exactly opposite to this. Here it says fewer patients may need to undergo surgery, but he's trying to in fact say that patients will be cured with surgery alone. They wouldn't require any further treatment, and they would respond better to other systemic therapies as well. So the main benefit is that it can be easily administered, and therefore the access would be easier. People can easily get access to this kind of test. Okay, so for this, B is the correct answer. Large number of people. And last one was about the cost of the test. Here he went on to explain how the cost is comparable to other treatment options or other tests that are there. So it is favorably, it compares favorably with other tests. So A is the correct answer here with other available methods, because he definitely didn't say that it could be reduced. He ended this conversation by saying that we can't compromise quality for the cost. So he explained that it must have a cost in line with or less than other currently available screening. Then he took example of a colonoscopy, and then he explained that the CancerSeek will also eventually cost less than 500. So there are a lot of studies, but cost can't be a determining factor over quality. And he's trying to say that I'm very confident that we will be also able to keep it at the estimated level. It is not that it would reduce, but it would remain at the estimated level. And if you compare it with other test options, it is comparing favorably. So A is the correct answer here. So he did not say that it will be reduced because of more, like if this was the correct answer, B, then he might have said that we are predicting that this test will be used and in this numbers, and as we do bulk production of the kit, the price will fall down. Yeah, he did not describe about the bulk production or increased demand as such, but he was hoping to keep the price at the estimated level, so not reduced considerably. So again, this is the key. If you underline negative extreme words or words that help you differentiate, and results of further trials will make it much easier to calculate. They have already made a calculation. The estimation is already there. So C can also be ruled out. So compare favorably, because he's basically doing a comparison. That is where his first sentence also started with, when he said that we feel that a test that will be used routinely for cancer must have a cost in line with other screening tests. And then, for example, he compared it with a colonoscopy. So now let me know, out of 6, how many of your answers were correct here? Write the number of answers that you got correct.